and efforts of our judiciary in sustaining our democracy since 1999. But we take a true independent judiciary to properly guarantee and protect the rule of law and democracy in our country. Sadly, Nigerians cannot still take judicial independence for granted, as the realities of our experience belie the resounding constitutional guarantees on equal treatment and impartial justice to all. All too often, manifest acts of suppression, intimidation of judges, unlawful interference with the judicial process, insidious pressures, illicit influences continue to dog and clog the capacity of courts to deliver impartial justice to all. Here in Rivers State, until we came in 2015, the state judiciary remained a dependent institution and treated derogatively as an appendage of the executive arm. In sheer display of executive rascality, my predecessor in office unleashed the most invidious attack on the state judiciary and got away with impunity. First, they dared, rebuffed, and defied the National Judicial Council by foisting his personal choice as the chief judge of the state against the person duly recommended by the NJC. When the NJC protested and declared recognition of his purported appointee, he simply asked it to go to hell. Again, some of you may yet remember how my predecessor declared public holidays on the 15th and 18th of November in an attempt to prevent the Harcourt judge from delivering his ruling, which he anticipated may overturn the unlawful dissolution of a duly elected local government council. And then the final onslaught came when he orchestrated and ensured the shutdown of the state judicial system for close to 2 years until we took over and reopened the courts within our first days in office. Recall how political talks of a party, we must not shy away from reality when we say those who did it. Why are we saying those who did it? We know those who did it, and we are saying those who... It's not ghosts, we know. We know those who had a matter that day. So the part of who are those, we know. But God will help us. Recall how political talks of the party blocked the state high court premises on the 11th of May, 2018, in yet another brazen attempt to obstruct the judicial process to defeat the ends of justice. Till date, Nigerian police has snubbed the demand by no less a personality than the Chief Justice of Nigeria to arrest and prosecute the perpetrators of the violence against the judicial arm of government. You may also wish to recall the unlawful invasion, assault, and hunting of senior judges, including judges of Supreme Court, into jail by the Department of State Security under the guise of fighting corruption. Further recall how the federal government continues to detain Sambo Dasuki, despite consistent orders from 6 different courts for his release. It is apparent from the foregoing that people with enormous resources, power, and influence will never cease to threaten and or exploit the inherent weakness and variability of our judicial system to gain unwarranted advantage for their personal, economic, and social political interests. However, when all is said and done, we cannot, as a country, continue to tolerate the unwanted abuse of our judicial system, deny citizens the right to impartial justice, and expect all to be well with our country. Against this backdrop, nothing can be more important to our country at this time than for us to secure the independence of the judiciary and ensure that it is no longer threatened by political and other interests. This is possible if our judges can stand firm on the Constitution under any circumstances and act consistently as morally autonomous agents with unshakable belief in the rule of law, human rights, and the shared values of our democracy. I declare so because all through history, judicial independence is fought and won by the courage, commitment, and vigilance of judges who would yield to nothing in defense of the Constitution and the rule of law. The challenge, therefore, is for the bench and the bar to resolve to stand firm against all forms of pressures, blatant or subtle, physical or verbal, that interfere with, impair or impugn the character and content of judicial decisions. Ultimately, it is the conscience of our judges that will make the difference. And until our judges are able to do just in the face of threats, apply the law in the face of opposition from the government, resist peer pressures, and seem to be courageous, just and fair, only then our judiciary be independent and our country respected among nations. While I congratulate the Chief Justice of Nigeria on the ongoing reforms to strengthen our judiciary, I wish that, with due respect, remind you that on your shoulders rests the responsibility, hopes, and expectations of a truly independent, impartial, and proactive judiciary, a judiciary that can do justice even though heaven may fall. May God continue to bless your efforts and help you realize this vision for our nation. On this note, Your Excellency, it is my singular honor and pleasure to invite my Lord, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, to make his remarks and commission the latest National Industrial Court building in Nigeria. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless you.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, my Lords Justices of the Supreme Court, my Lord President and Justices of the Court of Appeal, President of the National Industrial Court, Your Excellency, Governor of Taraba State, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, traditional rulers, please may I at this point rest on existing protocol. On a lighter note first, I still recollect that the application, the motion that was moved was directed at the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the Court of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. I think I had no jurisdiction at that stage to say so. You should have. And I'm glad that the proper judge with the right jurisdiction granted it, even though at that moment I said the motion was ordered as prayed. But it ought to come to me by way of appeal anyway. So to say that I am happy to be here will be an understatement. You see, truth will always stand. So if you don't want to fall, stand by the truth. Number two is that let time be your witness. If time is your witness, you are sure of winning your case or your argument. Because if you rely on human memories, it may fail you. Some may say, I didn't remember. Some may say, I wasn't there. But time will always tell the truth. So, what am I saying? Whatever we have to do, let us be guided by the truth. Because at the end of the day, whether you are being diplomatic or you are telling a lie or untruth, because in our profession we don't say that you tell a lie. We say that what you are saying cannot be true. if something